Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and if you are new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. Now don't forget to click on the subscribe button and that notification bell for more upcoming future videos. I went on Pinterest looking for a relaxing chair while I stay at home during these times, and I came across these beautiful and unique relaxing chairs. I decided to create my own using milk crates. If you would like to find out how I created my very own relaxing chair, just continue watching. To start off, I'll be using 9 milk crates, and I already had these on hand because I use them as storage for my supplies, but here is a link from Amazon that you may order them. Due to the crisis we are facing, it's taking longer than usual to ship items from Amazon. Next, I'll be using my hot tool, and I'll make a hole in each corner on the bottom of each crate, and I'll repeat the same steps on all 9 crates. Always remember to use a face shield or mask to prevent any fume from the plastic. I will have a complete list of all items used in the description bar below. And don't forget to follow me on my social media platforms for upcoming DIYs and giveaways. Next, I'll be using 4 wood borders that I already had on hand from Home Depot, and I'll be marking my placements for the seating. Next, I'll be using my crafting drill and 2.5-inch screws to hold the wood in the crates in place. It's best to pre-drill your holes before adding the screws. And for a better hold, go back with your screwdriver and tighten up all the screws. I'll continue adding crates, and I'll repeat the same steps on the opposite edge of the crates. I'll repeat the same steps in the center of the crates. This time I'll be using 2 screws on each side to hold the center. Next, I'll be using hardwood Plano, and I had them cut to size, one for the seating area and one for the backrest. I'll be using 1-inch screws to hold the wood Plano in place. I repeated the same steps on the other 4 crates. This time I added the screws from the bottom. I also added a milk crate underneath the seating area. I will continue the same steps on the backrest. I also had wood panels cut to size for the arm rests, and I'll be repeating the same drilling steps. Next, I'll be using foam board and I'll cut it to size to cover the crates on the back side of the chair. Because the wood panel on the armrests were not long enough, I'll be using foam board to cover up the rest. I will repeat the same steps with the foam board on the bottom front side of the chair, leaving the center part open. I repeated the same steps on the upper side front part of the chair. For painting, I'll be covering up the nails and the edges with masking tape. Next, I'll be painting the entire chair using white primer paint. I only painted around the edges of the milk crates because I'll be covering them up later on. Next, I'll be making a body size pillow and I could not find the exact color of fabric that I needed, so I'll be using this fitted bed sheet instead. Next, I took my measurements and I'll be cutting two pieces to size. I'll be holding both pieces together using pins and then I'll be using hot glue to seal the edges. I left a 4-inch opening for my stuffing and I'll be turning the fabric inside out. Next, I'll be using two inexpensive pillows for my stuffing. Next, I'll be using this self-adhesive shelf lining paper. I use postal boards and cut them to size of inside the crates and I cover them up with a shelf lining paper. Next, I took measurements of the inside of the chair and I'll be using pre-cut foam to cover it up. The foam was not long enough, so I took two pieces together and used hot glue to mend them together, and then I'll be cutting it to size. Next, I purchased this beautiful printed silver shiny fabric, and this is what I'll be using to cover up the foam, and I'll be making two. I cut two pieces of foam board to the sides of the front of the chair, and I covered that up with the same fabric. I also took foam board and cut them into square shapes to size the inside bottom part of the crates, and I covered them up with the same fabric. I also took foam board and cut them to size of the armrests and covered them up with the same shelf paper and glued them on the armrests. Next, I used chrome mirror reflective paper, and these are self-adhesive, just peel and stick, and I cut out pieces to cover the inside back part of each crate. I also used white Gorilla Tape to cover up in between the gaps of each crate. Next, I'll be using 8 packs of light blue self-adhesive diamond wrap, and I'll be applying them where I applied the white Gorilla Tape. I also added strips of diamond wrap around the edges of the front part of the chair. I purchased 2 packs of these self-adhesive mirror cutouts, and I'll be using hot glue to apply them even though they are self-adhesive, but I would like a better long-lasting hold. Next, I purchased these remote touch lights, and you have the options of changing the colors. This multi-pack came with self-adhesive double-sided stickers, and this is what I'll be using to hold them in place. And in case if you are wondering, I went back with a nail and screw cutter and cut off any visible screws. And here is the finished look. I really have to say I love the way this chair turned out, and this is the perfect chair that I need to release some stress and anxiety on these times that we are facing. And please, I cannot stress this enough. Please stay home as much as possible. Only go out if needed, and please wear protective gear when doing so. This chair brings out the perfect shade of lighting for that relaxing mood that everyone needs at this time of need. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy this DIY as much as I enjoy making it. Now don't forget, I post new DIY videos every week. Like and share with family and friends. Subscribe if you haven't. Comment if you wish. Click on notification bells for more upcoming future videos. See you real soon.